Today we're going to take a journey through history, through philosophy, through politics, and even spirituality. Hello, this is Peter Hislop, and this is Shift, the podcast that looks at the way we live our lives inside and outside organisations. I want to talk in the next 3 podcasts about the concept of truth. What is truth? What is its use? And why have we never really got it right? For as long as people have been able to speak, we've wrestled with the concepts around truth. A word that feels solid, a bit like stone, but when we touch it, it's like sand. It almost floats away like mist. We don't feel that we have to understand it. We think we do. Today we're going to take a journey through history, through philosophy, through politics, and even spirituality. We'll explore how truth has been defined and how it's been used and how it's been abused. I want to do that because for the next 3 podcasts, I want to take the concept of truth as one of the most significant tools that we can start to use at this time. In ancient Greece, truth literally meant unhiddenness. To the Greeks, truth wasn't just a fact or a statement. It was a kind of unveiling, a revealing of what is real. Socrates used truth as a tool. He questioned relentlessly, stripping away falsehood until only what could withstand scrutiny remained. For him, truth wasn't possession, it was pursuit. Plato saw truth as eternal, unchanging. Aristotle was more practical. Truth was saying what it is. If you say the tree is green, and the tree is in fact green, then that is truth. Simple, direct. But already we see 2 streams, truth as an eternal ideal, truth as a practical accuracy. Then the West turned Christian, and it took truth on a different meaning. In the Bible, Jesus says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Here, truth is not just correspondence or unveiling, it's a person, a divine reality. Truth becomes moral, eternal, absolute, something you follow, not just something you prove. In Islam, one of the names of God is the truth. Truth is divine essence, not argument, not perception, but being itself. In Buddhism, the 4 noble truths are less about correspondence, more about path, a pathway, its suffering, its cause, its cessation. Truth then is not just an idea, it's been treated as a path, a way of living, a foundation for faith. Across traditions, spiritual teachers have elevated truth above convenience, power, or even safety. The Buddha urged his followers to see things as they are, not as they wish them to be. Rumi spoke of truth as a flame that burns away illusions, declaring, try to accept the changing seasons of your soul. Become truth as the eternal sky behind them. Jesus framed truth as liberation. The truth shall set you free. Muhammad emphasized truth as a moral obligation, saying truth leads to righteousness, and righteousness leads to paradise. In Taoism, truth is not forced but found in harmony with the Tao, the underlining order of the universe. In all those voices, truth is more than accuracy. It's an alignment with what is ultimate, what is real, what is trustworthy. Fast forward to the Enlightenment and truth changes again. Science enters the picture, and the science model insists truth must be tested, verified, and it must be repeatable. No longer about divine authority, it's about evidence. Descartes searches for certainty. I think, therefore I am. Locke defines truth as agreement between ideas and things. Kant complicates things. We never know reality as it truly is. We only know our perception of it. In this period, truth becomes democratic. It's not what priests declare or kings demand. It's what can be observed, reasoned and tested. This revolution built the modern world, but it also planted a seed. If truth is observation, then truth is limited. If we can't see it, touch it, measure it, does it count? Do we, in our haste to live, even bother looking for it? In the 20th century, truth fragments. Postmodern thinkers say truth is relative, truth depends on perspective, on culture, on power, almost as if they're trying to make sure that we can ignore it without there being any damage. Nietzsche declares there are no facts, only interpretations. Others say what we call truth is often just the narrative of power. Who controls truth controls society. Suddenly, truth becomes fragile. It becomes suspicious. Is it just a mask for control? Is it a story we tell ourselves? This has led in today's politics and commerce, where truth feels negotiable, malleable, something to be spun rather than found. Let's step into the boardroom. Think of Enron in the early 2000s. Executives presented glowing numbers, hidden debt and endless spin. The truth was buried, and when it came out, $60 billion in value disappeared, evaporated. Thousands lost their jobs, and the word Enron became shorthand for deception. Or more recently, Wirecard in Germany, a fintech darling that fabricated billions in revenue. Investors believed the story, not the reality, until auditors and journalists dragged the truth into the open and the company collapsed. But there are also commercial voices where truth worked. Patagonia, for instance, has built a business on being brutally honest. Don't buy this jacket, one of their ads read, reminding customers of the environmental cost of consumption. The truth-telling created loyalty, love and profit. So now let's turn our gaze to politics, a world where truth is constantly under siege and has horrid correlations to our business world. We now live in an age of alternate facts and fake news. In 2016, the Oxford Dictionary's word of the year was post-truth. And that says it all, doesn't it? The US invasion of Iraq justified on weapons of mass destruction that didn't exist. Brexit campaigns fuelled by misleading claims. Remember the butts promising £350 million a week to the NHS. Or in Australia, the robo-debt scandal, where government claims about welfare overpayments proved not just inaccurate but devastating to people's lives. Yet there are also moments where truth has triumphed. Think of the Watergate hearings, where relentless pursuit of truth forced a US president to resign, or South Africa's Truth and Reconciliation Commission, which sought healing through public, painful acknowledgement of reality. Truth in politics can be weaponised, or it can be redemptive. In the intellectual life, the French Dominican philosopher Certelanges wrote that the pursuit of truth in the very essence of intellectual vocation is the return of that effort. For him, truth was not just a scholarly concern, it was a moral imperative. He argued that every genuine intellectual must commit their life to truth, with humility, discipline and devotion. To Certelanges, truth was not merely about cleverness or brilliance, it was about aligning one's mind with reality in service of the good. He warned against vanity, ambition or distortion in intellectual work, insisting that truth was sacred, something to be pursued with reverence. In his words, truth is the good of the intellect as food is the good of the body. So where are we today? We live in an information age flooded with data, drowning in claims. Social media means everyone can present their truth, and so truth feels fragmented, tribal, sometimes meaningless. But here's the paradox. Truth is also more needed than ever. In commerce, without truth, investors lose trust. In politics, without truth, democracy falters. In relationships, without truth, trust withers. Truth today must be more than accuracy. It must be authenticity. It must be transparency. It must be accountability. So what should truth mean? Here's one proposal. Truth should be connection. Not a cudgel to beat others with, not a weapon to justify power, but a bridge between people. Truth is what allows genuine connection, because only when I know you're being truthful can I trust you. And only when I am truthful can I connect with myself. In commerce, truth should be shown me the numbers as they are, not as you wish them to be. In politics, truth should mean tell me the facts, even when they hurt, because only then can I make real choices. In life, truth should mean let me live authentically, without hiding, without masks, without spin. Truth attracts truth. When leaders stand in truth, they connect with people. When businesses trade in truth, they build loyalty. When citizens demand truth, democracy breathes. And when we live in truth, our own truth, we find the strength to grow, connect, and change. Come back to our next podcast to expand our understanding of truth, its importance as a coach. Well, I've seen hundreds of efforts to connect within organisations, models of communication and connection, but they rarely work unless there is an oil to facilitate the movement, to facilitate the words, the listening, the numbers. I believe truth may be the one that works. Why? Because it was designed to do so. See you next time.